Alright, it's been a while since I made a video. We're less than 24 hours away from UFC 146. I'm a little late on my predictions, but I'm going to get to them. We got 3 fights on the preliminaries. This card is stacked, first of all. Okay, not only is the main card stacked, but we got what, 7 preliminary fights, and all of them are very good fights. So let's get started with the Facebook fights. We got Daniel Pineda against Mike Brown. This is a good fight. Daniel Pineda has looked very good in the octagon. I think he's 2-0. His last victory, I think, was UFC on FX, and he got submission in the night, I think. It was a really good triangle armbar, but he's looked really good. He's got a record of 17-7. He's taken on former WEC 145-pound kingpin Mike Brown. Now, Mike Brown, since being champion, has lost 4 of his last 7 fights. He is 1-2 inside the octagon, and he's coming off a win against Nam Fan, unanimous decision. I think Mike Brown has kind of lost a step, but I don't think he's going to lose this fight. I just don't think Daniel Pineda is ready to take this big step in competition. So I think Mike Brown takes it. I don't know if he'll finish him. I think a unanimous decision victory is more likely. Then we got the UFC debut of Glover Teixeira, which is a great addition to the light heavyweight division. He's beaten guys like Sokoju, Rico Rodriguez. He fought mostly overseas most of his career. WC veteran. He's taken on Kyle Kingsbury. I used to think Kyle Kingsbury was very overrated, but he always found a way to win. And he lost his last fight against Stephan Bonner. Prior to that, he had won his previous 4 fights. But I'm gonna go with Glover Teixeira. I think he's gonna knock him out. Maybe it's pushing it, but he could win knockout of the night even. I mean, there's a lot of heavyweights, so yeah. And then 10 the Facebook fights. We got Paul Sasangle, who's a great submission artist. All of his wins, I think, are by triangle or heel hook, which is fucking amazing. He's from England, and he's taken on Jacob Volkman. Jacob Volkman's won 5 in a row. I think he's undefeated at lightweight. Let me see. Yes, he is 5-0 at lightweight. He's beaten Antonio McKee, Efren Escudero, and Danny Castillo, all 5 by decision. Dana White does not like him, I don't think. That's why he's always stuck on the Facebook cards, and, he can't finish anybody. So I'm going to go with Jacob Volkman by decision. So we got Mike Brown, Volkman, and Glover Teixeira. Then we go to Dwayne Bang Ludwig against Dan Hardy. I'm so happy that they moved this to the prelims and FX, just because I might not be able to watch the ones on Facebook. I love Dan Hardy, I think maybe he's a little bit overrated, but he comes to fight, and you got to respect that. Dwayne Ludwig's the same thing. The UFC made this fight tailor-made for Dan Hardy to get off the hump. He's lost 4 in a row, title shot to GSP, knocked out by Carlos Condit, decision by Anthony Johnson, and guillotine by Chris Lytle. So I think Dan Hardy wins. I don't know if he'll knock him out. Maybe he'll be a little bit more patient. He might not get the knockout, but I think Dan Hardy wins. Then we got CB Dalloway against Jason Miller. Mayhem Miller, obviously a veteran, long-time MMA veteran. Fought tough guys, Jacques Ray, GSP, Jake Shields, CB Dalloway has lost 2 in a row. He got TKO'd by Jared Hammond, and he got knocked out by Mark Munoz. CB Dalloway has a problem with, I think, really good submission guys, so it wouldn't surprise me if he went in for a takedown and, Mayhem walked in a guillotine, but I think CB Dalloway's Muay Thai is a little bit better, so I'm going to pick Dalloway. I don't know if he'll be the favorite or what, but I'd consider that an upset, so I think he'll take unanimous decision. Then we got Edson Barbosa coming off his heel hook knockout, best knockout in UFC history, I don't care what anyone says, against Jamie Varner, filling in for, I think, Evan Dunham. Jamie Varner's not gonna win. Barbosa by KO or decision. Then we got Darren Elkins against Diego Brandao. the most recent, first ever featherweight tough winner. So I'm gonna go with Brandel. Let's get to the main card. The main card is messed up. It's all heavyweights. Every fight has been changed from the previous one about 6 weeks ago, all because Alistair Overeem tested positive and injuries. So Stefan Struve was supposed to fight Mark Hunt. He's now fighting Lamar Johnson. Shane Del Rosario was supposed to fight Gabriel Gonzaga. He's fighting Stipe Miocic. Roy Nelson was supposed to fight Bigfoot and Gonzaga. Now he's fighting Dave Pee Wee Herman. And Cain Velasquez supposed to fight Frank Mir. He's fighting Bigfoot. And Junior was supposed to fight Overeem. Every fight got changed. So let's get started. Stefan Struve against LeVar Johnson. I think Stefan's got very good Muay Thai, but he doesn't like to admit it, but he's got a problem with his chin. You know, it's not like pussies have knocked him out either. I mean, Junior Dos Santos, Roy Nelson, and who knocked him out last year, Travis Brown. But I think, somehow he pulls guard or something, and LeVar Johnson gets caught in a triangle in the first round. But, I don't think the UFC wants to match up LeVar Johnson with a submission guy, but it just worked out that way because they needed someone ASAP, and he was still in good shape from a couple weeks ago when he fought. Then we go to Stipe Miocic against Shane Del Rosario. Good fight here. Both guys are undefeated. Shane Del Rosario hasn't fought in over a year. He was supposed to fight Daniel Cormier last year, but he got in a car accident. He's a great submission guy. Got pretty good kickboxing. He's got pro kickboxing experience. Stipe Miocic is, 2-0 in the octagon, beat Joey Beltran and Philip DeVries. I'm going to go with Del Rosario just because I think he's a little bit more well-rounded, and I think he will have the advantage on the ground. So, Roy Nelson and Dave Herman. Dave Herman's 1-1 in the UFC. He got finished his last fight against Stefan Struve, and he beat John Alabama. Roy Nelson has lost 3 of 4. He's lost to Frank Mir, Verdum, and who did he fight before Frank Mir? I can't remember, but his only win in that was, Mirko Cro Cop, which is a big win, but, he's not as good as he used to be, obviously. So I'm going to pick Roy Nelson. I think he finishes him. I think he takes him down and gets him in that crucifix, like he did with Kimbo Slice. I think he does that, and I think it's a second round TKO. Oh, he lost to Junior. That was the other fight. I thought that was, well, it was only in 2010, I guess, so I guess that's right. And then we go to the co-main event. Cain Velasquez, who's coming off the first career loss against Junior Dos Santos when he lost title against Bigfoot Silva, who was also coming off a knockout loss to Cain Velasquez's teammate Daniel Cormier. I'm going to go with Cain Velasquez in this one by decision. I think this is going to be very similar to the Czech Congo fight, where he's going to, might get hit standing, but he'll take him down. I think it'll be decision. He might TKO him ground and pound, but I think he's going to be a lot more cautious. He's going to use his wrestling, which he should do because he's an NCAA champion. Bigfoot said he brought someone in that beat Cain 8 times. That doesn't help. You can't. Cain's been wrestling since he was, 8 years old? So I'm going to take Cain. Let's go to the main event. Junior Dos Santos against Frank Mir. Frank Mir coming off a win over his trainer. He broke his arm, Big Nog. Obviously, this is simple. Fight stands. Junior will knock him out, goes to the ground. He's going to have to get out, or, Frank may even grab a leg or something. Frank Mir said he'd pull guard. That's the best thing to do. I don't think he'll take Junior down. But I'm going to go with Junior by knockout. Frank's been knocked out many times. Shane Carwin knocked him out. Or whoever knocked him out in the early UFC days. Was it Ian Freeman? Or I don't know. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. But Brock Lesnar TKO'd him. Who else did he lose to? Marcio Cruz. Oh no, Brandon Vera knocked him out. So I'm gonna go with that. So those are my predictions. I might even put some money on Frank Mir just because it's gonna be like 5-1. So maybe do that. Okay.